Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, today, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party has officially been registered by Registrar of Political Parties and Ndereto. And I have perused that document. 26 constituent parties have signed to be members of Azimio la Umoja. Now, of interest to me is that Raila Odinga is actually appointed there as the party leader and is also a coalition member. President Uhuru Kenyatta is coalition council chairman. Then I will share with you the two levels of leadership of the Azimio la Umoja. Something that captured my attention is the presence of Sabina Chege. And let me just pause there and ask a question. Which position is Sabina Chege vying in this general election? Because as of last week, to the deadline of registration, to the deadline of political parties receiving aspirants, the Jubilee Party had not received any nominations for the women position in Murang'a. That Sabina Chege was vying for that position. So her position still is not very clear. But then the Azimio la Umoja had two levels of leadership. The Coalition Council, then there is the National Executive Council. I want to break this down for you because I think the request by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka for the stool to be a three-legged stool was actually rejected. The initial document that was submitted was showing that the council members were only to be 7. But according to what I have captured, the council members are 11. So the other parties that were complaining that they were left out in the Azimio stool have actually been integrated in the coalition council. So let me just break it down for you so that you understand who and who is at that coalition council, because I want us to look at it critically, because I believe that it is that coalition council that is going to select Raila Odinga's presidential running mate. Now, in that coalition council, there is Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the chairman, Raila Odinga, the party leader and the council member, Hassan Joho, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Gideon Moi, Martha Karua, Charity Ngilu, Wamunyinyi, Junet Mohammed, who is also the Secretary General of the party, then Abdi Nur Omar, there is Sabina Chege, and I think someone I've left out is Naomi Shaban, if I'm not wrong. So if you look at the membership, it has actually been increased from the 7 to the 11. Remember, this was one thing that was very contentious, because this is what Kalonzo Musyoka, some of the hard grounds that Kalonzo Musyoka was holding that had to be corrected before this document is approved. So the big question here is this. In this coalition, in this national coalition, in this coalition council, we already have the presidential candidate. Now, one person that I want to believe will come from this council is the running mate. And technically, two candidates for the Raila Odinga's running mate slot, Peter Kenneth and Peter Munya, are not members of this coalition council. Now, even the National Executive Council do not have those two fellows I've mentioned. But then, this coalition council I think is the National Executive Council of Azimio la Umoja. And this is the team that is going to choose Raila Odinga's running mate. Now, one thing that have captured my attention is the presence of Sabina Chege. So, if you look at it critically, President Uhuru Kenyatta is representing Jubilee. Raila Odinga has Hassan Joho and Junet Mohammed from ODM. Kalonzo Musyoka is there. I think this Abdi Nur and Naomi Shaban are the other side of Kalonzo. Then Charity Ngilu, Wamunyinyi, Martha Karua representing the fourth leg. Now the other parties that were complaining. So if you look at it critically, what do you think? Where do you think the president chose critically Sabina Chege. I want us to look at that. Now, I have much interest in Sabina Chege because of this. If you remember last year, I think it was November, during the mass voter registration, Sabina Chege was sent in Nyanza to do voter sensitization, the registration sensitization. And she traversed the counties of Kisumu, Kakamega, Homa Bay, Migori, and Siaya. And by that time, we were raising questions that what exactly is happening? Why was she sent? Why Sabina Chege? Then after that, she came and joined the national campaign team and campaigned with the Jeshi la Baba team. That was the Sky team that was including Hassan Joho, Hassan Joho, Junet Mohammed, Ledamo Lekina, and I think Kanini Kega and Babu Owino. So, and even now, if you look at Azimio la Umoja, the two people that are really campaigning hard is Ledamo Lekina and Sabina Chege. Sabina Chege has been campaigning with the Lodama and Lokina in Kajiado and Narok counties, even though we also saw Martha Karua doing her own campaigns in Kirinyaga. So if you look at that coalition council, one person that you can simply not underestimate, and I even saw in Twitter, people are asking what is in store that Sabina Chege have really got herself into that position. And that is why I feel that she's not seeking any elective seat back in Murang'a. And if this is it, then the script was planned some time back. Now, the reason why Kalonzo Musyoka did not want the council to be 11 is because it is this council that is going to appoint or rather select Raila Odinga's running mate. One thing that I can also conclude from this structure is that it seems Raila Odinga or rather Kalonzo Musyoka finally has accepted that the running mate must come from Central Kenya. There is a story, I think it was captured by the People Daily, that during the Azimio la Umoja Secretary General's event, press briefing in Serena, I think probably it was on Tuesday, one Secretary General mentioned that even Uhuru Kenyatta was getting fed up with Kalonzo Musyoka's push for running mate. And he had mentioned somewhere that if Kalonzo feels like he could not be part of Azimio, it was time for him to walk out. So one thing that I can point out here is in this coalition council, we have the presidential candidate and we have the running mate. If I am to narrow down, then the running mate can only be Kalonzo, Sabina Chege, or Martha Karua. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at critically, why do you think Uhuru Kenyatta have fronted Sabina Chege for this position? But before we do that, if you're watching this video and you have not subscribed, kindly take a second and subscribe, and also click the notification bell so that when we publish a video, you can be notified. 4 reasons. Number 1, Sabina Chege could be really president is fronting her for a very powerful position in Raila Odinga's government. And this could be that, even if you look at the structure of Azimio, there is the Jubilee, Wiper, and the ODM and the other parties. The presence of Sabina Chege there is very critical. If perhaps Martha Karua is picked as the running mate, then it means that in that government, in Raila Odinga's government, whether there is going to be a position of maybe the deputy prime minister, the prime minister, or any other powerful position, and that position is supposed to go to Central Kenya, I think Sabina Chege might be considered. Number 2, and I'm just trying to figure out this, I think she's also been fronted there because of her charisma in campaigns. And so she's there as a campaign machinery. One thing I've always mentioned, that in politics, there is something that people underestimate. It's called posturing. You have to posture yourself and put yourself in the space. For example, I am in this video, in this channel, complaining to Kalonzo Musyoka that his hardliners are not hunters. So even these positions, if they are to be taken there, you cannot even put Enoch Wamboa. Enoch Wamboa is not anywhere in the campaign space. So because of her charisma in the Azimio campaigns, I think the president have decided that she is the right person to be awarded to be a member of that coalition council. And it is a very critical position in Azimio. Then, thirdly, and I think this is what is also running in my mind, and I might be wrong, there are two things. Sabina Chege and Martha Karua are there. They are from Central Kenya. And I want to believe that if there is a gender card that can be played on Raila Odinga's running mate, then the two contestants so far from Central Kenya are Sabina Chege or Martha Karua. Initially, Raila Odinga was fronting Sabina Chege, was fronting Martha Karua. If you look at it critically, Martha Karua, Charity Ngilu, and this other team were just added after the protest. So I want to believe that Sabina Chege was formerly here. And I may not be wrong, but I think that she's also in contestation for Raila Odinga's running mate. And what I know is the president and Raila, they have intel what is happening on their competitor side, on the Kenya Kwanza side. And Kenya Kwanza already sending signs that they might be picking a female as DP Ruto's running mate. In this video, I can still maintain, and it is just a test of time. Wait, if DP Ruto is going for a female running mate, it is between Susan Kihika and Susan Kihika. And because they've already known that that card might be played, I think the president is trying to front Sabina Chege, while Raila is also there with Martha Karua. So Sabina Chege is also here in contestation for the position of running mate. By then, she's been so silent. She's doing campaigns and doing purely Azimio campaigns outside Central Kenya. But in Central Kenya, she's doing Jubilee campaigns. So if the running mate is coming from Jubilee, she's the only member of Jubilee party in that coalition council. Lastly, she might also represent the voice of the young people, or rather the generation. But of course, this is here. If you look at Junet, Joho, they are also in the group with Sabina Chege. But that is what I personally think. Ladies and gentlemen, and I want to read this in the comment section. When do you think the president intentionally have decided to boost the stakes of Sabina Chege in Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition? Please tell us. I might be wrong, but this is my speculation.